Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where today the Where's Shmee Euro Tour continues, but with a bit of a twist in the plans. In fact, we're down in Italy, but we're about to be departing back to Germany without having yet collected the new Shmee-mobile from Maranello. Now I touched a little bit on this on the first leg when we set off from the UK with the Huracan STO and the GTC4Lusso, but now is when things get a little bit chaotic. And in fact, we're going to be heading to Germany to go and park up the cars with my friends at the Satin Crew and basically abandoning them for a little bit before this will all continue. And I want to tell you more today about what's going to be happening as we make our way from where we're beginning in a hotel garage in Italy. And I believe this is exactly where, about 6.5 years ago, I had my 675 LT Coupe and the FF parked in the week that I had collected them. Again, a mid-engine supercar with a very practical Ferrari to join it. But that was a very, very good memory. I'd picked up the 675, driven it down to Italy, similarly to what we've done on this tour so far. So today, we need to talk a little bit more about the SF90 Stradale and when that's going to be appearing as we make our way from here in Italy up through Austria, back to Germany to drop the cars with the Satin Crew and park them up for the time being. We'll have a bit of an update on the journey so far as well. The miles that we've driven on the STO, the Lusso, is probably going to do quite a few more because the plan is to bring that back to Italy in the near future. We've got some luggage we need to squeeze back into it for all of us to get this journey on the way, to get the cars started up. We should have some pretty nice cold starts, I would think. Naturally aspirated engines in a parking garage. This is going to be awesome. So we'll enjoy that in just a moment. So step one, luggage in the car, and then we'll get ready to get on the road. We're going to have both cold starts. We're going to start with the Lusso because the STO is still just a touch louder, but now that we have the Novitec Switchtronic, it means you can have a proper cold start with the valve opened, which is something that the car couldn't do in its stock form, let's say. So let me hop in and let's get this started and take a listen. The funny thing here is to get out of the garage, I actually had to hop out because the button is on the left side and I didn't fancy getting too close to it and having any risks, but out we go into the beautiful sunshine. Another lovely day here in Italy. Ready for the drive onwards. Got about 5 or 6 hours on the road today to Germany. One thing that's quite funny is that this is actually the first time I've driven the Lusso in Italy. This Lusso in Italy, full stop. I've been driving the STO all the time because we've been shooting so many things over at Lamborghini. So that's, I guess, quite a fun little thing given we're here, but we're going straight onto the Autostrada, where to make life a little bit easier for us, I have these amazing little telepass thingies, which mean when you drive up to it, well, you could either permanently mount it on your windscreen or you can hold it up, but for both cars, they make our life significantly easier. We can go in the Reservata Clienti Telepass, hold it out, it goes beep, there we go, and you have to keep it held because it has to beep again on the exit. Simple. That makes life so much easier. Where are we going then? Milano Brennero, up towards Austria, over to Germany, and basically taking the cars away from Italy for the time being. A few logistical reasons as to what they're going to be doing next, where everything is going, what the plans are, and a few simple travel reasons, to be honest. So it's about, what does it say, 447 kilometers ahead of us today, because we're going to be parking up both cars. The STO is actually going to be transported onwards from there for an adventure a couple of weeks down the line. The STO is going to be heading to the Nürburgring. This is going to be awaiting my next return so that I can then take it back to Italy to head down. Well, that's the plan at the moment, but we'll get more into that because there are a few other things around it as well. For now though, we're out onto the Autostrada. It is going to be a gentle cruise, a chill. We've lost the STO for now. It does have a telepass, so it should be able to catch us at some point shortly. Well, this is kind of crazy behind us. Spotted in the mirror. Is that a Roma test car? What is that exactly? Roma prototype, perhaps, or something, doing some miles, not entirely sure. But also behind us is the STO, which looks absolutely absurd out here. That thing is so crazy. Look at the colour and the sunshine. Just look at the wing on the back of it. It's just, I don't know, all around very, very, very silly. Let me sneak back alongside. Let's see if I put the window down, if we can get the guys to give us a cheeky little bit of an acceleration. Sounds so good. So crazy. I tell you what though, this is a little bit more comfortable. Having done all of the miles down, because we drove down across the mountain passes and, up in Vasson, Trento, drove across there in the STO, amazing on the twisty roads. Had a nice old blast down the autostradas, down towards the Modena region, and now obviously cruising back. But this is a slightly better car for this kind of journey, for just chilling out and being at the wheel of it and, you know, relaxing, taking it easy. And that's really where the Lusso excels, and it's what I missed after I'd sold my last one, is that it has this really nice balance of being a sporty, super-y type car that can hang out with cars like the STO. But then on the other hand, you can just sit on a highway like this, windows up, and it's calm, and it's just a nice place to be with nice materials, and you know, it's a cool, classy, elegant car that isn't too shouty. It's a brilliant balance, and that's why we've done the Switchtronic. And even at this speed, I could close the valves, but you don't really hear them. 7th gear, you know, it's just over 2,000 RPM, taking it easy, nice chill, and yeah, smooth plain sailing. Now, where we're actually heading to, like I said, is to the Satin Crew, and you might have seen some of my videos with the Satin Crew before. I drove their M2 CS at the Nürburgring for some laps on a track day. That was amazing. We've joined with Jerk Electra as well for a few drives. They brought their AMG GTR along when we were out with the double Sennas, and a few other events and things along the way as well. And today they are kindly going to be responsible for looking after my 2 cars that I am ditching and abandoning when I go back home. So big thanks to them in advance, and we'll get there and hopefully get them plugged into the CTEX and keep them all alive and well for the time being. Well, I'm going to head back to the UK for a few things that are in the works. Some things at the Shmuseum, of course, over on the Shmuseum channel, but also 1 or 2 other things that are, again, work in progress at the moment. Is the story of this time of year. And because we haven't had the Geneva Motor Show or the traditional car events, that's basically why, as I mentioned earlier, I filmed these 5 videos under embargo, 5 new cars or new releases or things that I'm not allowed to share yet between Germany and Italy, because there hasn't been a major event to launch them at, as we catch back up with that beastly thing. It's actually tiny on the road. It's a really small little thing. Tiny, but very, 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 very cool. Very cool. Cruising on through. Long old way to go ahead of us. A big topic of discussion from this trip is certainly the petrol side of it, and we will add it up as we go through the entire thing, including the second run to the SF90 and everything that's going to be coming after that. In fact, we're only about a third of the way through the full trip at this stage, or at least what's planned of it at this stage, and these things always change. Anyway, we filled up both cars. The views here in the mountains are absolutely spectacular. This highway is fantastic, this motorway, leading us up towards the Brenner Pass and crossing in towards Austria. Anyway, back in Lusso, let's continue. Part of the fun of driving these roads are that we have plenty of tunnels, case in point right in front of us. So let's go manual and just drop some gears, because V12 in the tunnel, we need the window down a crack. Okay. Well, it transpires you can barely hear this over that. On its own, however, absolutely fantastic sound. I love this noise, the wail of this V12. But my goodness, the STO in the tunnel there, that sounded monumental. You just don't find roads like this in many other places. Look at this. We meander through the middle of the valley on a highway at motorway speeds with tunnels. It's like perfection for a long distance drive. Oh, I thought he might pull out there. The major fun with this is it's just tunnel after tunnel after tunnel. So I'm definitely slowing down because the STO is here. It's so ridiculous, and that's the stock exhaust. Listen to the wail through the tunnel. Yes, okay, we've opened the valve, but it's still a stock exhaust. It's not like we've decatted it or something to make it even louder. Absolutely epic today. What a lovely drive. A quick stop for lunch and another fairly stunning view in the mountains. But I'm actually going to swap now out of the Lusso into the STO for the cruise through Austria. Always a very gentle leg, that one, until we get to the Autobahn on the other side. I haven't yet worked out what to do in terms of parking the cars, hopefully a little bit cleaner. We'll probably give them a full tank of fuel and clean the windows and things like that just when we park them up so they're ready to go again at the other end. We'll see exactly how that's going to shape up as we make our way. But for now, let's get this rocking and rolling. Gosh, significantly less comfortable, we can say, than the Lusso, but sounds the part. So onwards. We are heading out again, watching out for the trucks. So this time, do you know what? I'm going to go straight into manual because we're pulling out onto a motorway in a warm STO on a lovely warm day. It's actually like 16 or, well, this says it's 23 degrees Celsius, which is certainly not true. But out we go, away we go. Okay, that is silly in the most wonderful way possible. It's really interesting how different these two cars are. Obviously for this journey we've brought the Lusso basically to transport the luggage, because in here all you can fit is like one small rucksack type bag, backpack behind you. You're not going to be getting any sizable luggage in here. Actually, we've got the Lusso coming past right now. You can't hear it when I do that in this. And in the boot of that car is pretty much everything for all of us, which has done a wonderful job of it. And when we're parked up at a hotel or something, obviously we can all jump in the Lusso and take that to go out for dinner or whatever it is that we need to do. So the pairing has worked really quite nicely, it has to be said. And it will work very nicely when we come back before too long. We've just had some roadworks, but this is Austria. In fact, there is the sign that says we're now back in Austria. And in Austria, one drives really very slowly and gently and chilled. And it's probably a 100 km/h speed limit the whole way, I would suspect. We've just got a bit of roadworks here. The views, however, are amazing, and the tarmac is generally nice and smooth, so it could be worse for a cruise. But a car like this definitely wants to have its legs stretched and not sit at whatever slow speed we're going to have to end up sitting at as we make our way through and onwards for something like an hour and a quarter, something like that, driving through Austria, and then we'll be out into Germany. It seems our route to Germany is not via the Autobahn, but instead heading up yet another mountain pass, and I'm all for that, because driving this car on these kind of roads is fabulous, to be completely honest. We are still in Austria at the moment. I don't really know where we're going to be crossing the border today, but this kind of view, so you look out from here, just the snow-capped mountains around us, is totally crazy. Really cool. And as the road opens, and that's about it. We saw this view and there was no choice but to pull in, because this car here is exceptionally photogenic. What a place to be with it, kind of unplanned, although the roads and the views around here are so good that, hey, why not? Why not make the most of it on this last leg of part one of the Where's Shmee tour, we could say, with this car. More amazing roads, but I think we're about to cross the border to Germany, maybe? I've only really ever done so at the, at the main Autobahn crossings. Obviously this is completely woodland, mountain craziness, but that is the entry back into Germany, the land of automotive. Well, we've gone from two today, from one to another very passionate automotive country. What I like about this car is even that under the speed limit just sounds so phenomenal. Like, you don't need to be dragging it around everywhere to have a wild time in this car. It lets you just enjoy being, well, a bit more sensible with it. Although I wouldn't mind if we could get a nice safe overtaking opportunity to head out in front and just go a touch closer to the speed limit rather than cruising at 60 and 100. As much as 60 is, fine. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Is it going to open up on us? No, not going to happen right now. Let's see what happens a little bit further ahead. This is a bit better. Still a lot of snow around, but it's actually 15 or so degrees today, so no risk. And obviously we're on the more all-year tyres as opposed to the race version that they offer for this car. I just love driving like this. I love going on adventures like this. It's so much fun to just discover new places. And the crazy thing for me about this is I've never been here. I've driven so much around Europe, but this is a new area for me, a new road to drive, new views, new photo spots, new experiences, and there are so many places to discover, and that's, I think, a big part of the fun, and why I love bringing you guys along as well for a journey like this, to go off and explore and just see what we find all around the world. Quite a few cyclists around here as well, taking it easy there. Nice gentle chill cruise, but this road just flows back and forth. This is really quite pleasant. We have made it to our destination then, parked up here in Germany, discreetly in the corner of an underground garage for the time being. But actually, when I return back here, the first stop is going to be to take the STO over to the Satin Crew's new garage, where they're then going to transport it in their new trailer over to the Nürburgring ahead of events at Easter weekend. In the meantime, I'm going to be picking up the Lusso again and taking that car from here in Germany back down to Italy to Maranello for you know what. That should be in about 10 days, 2 weeks or so, a little bit later than planned, but there are a lot of logistics and complicated things involved with the car, with registration, with PPF, with more details we're going to touch on at the time of collection as well. So for the time being, both of these are tucked away in the corner. We have the chargers installed. We have the CTEC smart chargers for both cars. For the STO, it is a complete hassle, I'm not going to lie. They don't make this easy in the slightest. You basically have to, as I think I showed at the very beginning of this trip, plug it in inside the front in a non-existent storage. So that's all wired in, plugged in, nice and easy. I do actually just want to shuffle that cable ever so slightly out of the way. We'll pop that there, lock this back down. Then you have the wonderful key contraption to turn this. You can see it's plugged in. Thankfully, we've got some sockets right available for us at the back of the parking spaces here. Click this one down, turn this as well. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, especially one-handed in the dark like this. Slightly dim light. I'm making a complete mess of this. There we go, it's locked. And then on the Lusso, over on this side, we're simply on the magnetic one at the back. Makes life easy. And that's also plugged in and doing what it's supposed to do. So I need to pop this back away, which lives inside this car, making a right meal out of all of this, getting everything done. But just down here, that plugs in there, stays in place, and we will pack up things for now. We've driven about 1,600 miles, 2,500 kilometers with the car at some excruciatingly high petrol prices. I'm not going to lie at the moment with everything going on, but let's just lock the Lusso, lock the STO, and that is it for now to leave the cars. As I said, coming back before long for the second part, or second 2/3 really, of this adventure. I've got the trip down to Italy. We're then going to be coming back up to Germany, a couple of press events and cool first drives to go on. Then it will be time for the Nürburgring over Easter weekend, with hopefully all 3 cars there, which will be quite exciting. And then the intention is to drive the crazy long distance all the way to Denmark to take at least one of the cars, if not 2, to go and visit Zenvo, where the car, as you can imagine, is coming along quite nicely. For a full update of that as it nears completion in the assembly hall at the factory in Denmark. So, exciting times for the rest of the Where's Shmee tour, but for now, we're going to have a little pause with some videos going live at strange times, so excuse me for that, as we head back to the UK for some more exciting parts of this journey. That's it for now though. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining today, but that's it for the end of part 1 of the tour for this year, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!